You are now entering an unfiltered news and politics zone with the Breeze Bullies, Jug and Hefe the Don. I like this. Oh. Speak out mine, yeah. We don't care, yeah. Sing with me now, come on. Come on, sing with me. Oh boy. Hey, y'all. Here we are. Breeze Bullies. Chill.
Yeah, this is the first Breeze Bully podcast. We are your hosts, Jug, aka Juggernaut.
Hefe the Don in the house.
And we are the Breeze Bullies. We're here to pressure your perspective
sir.
On everything. You know, on everything that you're seeing and you're hearing outside in the world.
No filter,
right? And it's definitely, it's going to be a different perspective because at the end of the day, I think that you're going to see that it's going to be a unique perspective of two brothers on today's topics. You know, some of it will be political, some of it will be entertainment related, some
news, politics.
You know, just current events in general.
And those things in between.
Right. And, you know, without any real further ado, you know, we just wanted to kind of set the bar for you guys to kind of see what we're going to be doing and what we're going to be talking about. And, you know, a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about is really, like I said, it's just current news.
Current news. Straight talk. What's happening in the world. And giving you our unique perspective on these things in the world. Because right now, we're in a situation where everything is being filtered through some other media areas that aren't as trustworthy as they used to be. But
it's crazy.
Yikes.
Like it's crazy, like how, you know, in our older days, right, where we used to get information and we used to get things, and it used to always be, you would just get the news, or what we perceived to be the news. I guess at the time, you know, we perceived that to be the news. And, you know, you were able to formulate your own opinion, you know. Right now what we're getting is a lot of what we would call selective editing. Yeah,
a lot of editorializing. A lot of opinion pieces masquerading as objective news coverage.
Right. And what's happening is that folks are being horribly misinformed to the point where, you know, how can you make a decision that would, you know, impact yourself and your family if you don't have all of the information?
Exactly. And I think one of the big problems, you know, not just with the media but with people, is they want the information, but it's hard for them to find what they're looking for because
Facts.
Everything is being hidden, or the relevant things are being hidden, so they can't even find it. They're looking for something real. It's hard to find because it's being shoved under the table. You know,
it's kind of like that thing where they say, you know, we're going to keep them honest, right? Like, you know, your man says, you know, your man on a certain network, he goes, hey, I'm going to keep them honest, and then we're going to fact check, right? And then we're fact checking, you know. But it's kind of like when we talk about police and police reform and these things that everybody's going crazy about right now. Like, who polices the police? Yeah, who fact check the fact
checking? Who's fact checking the fact checkers?
Right. So depending on the narrative, or depending on, you know, what narrative you want to paint, you're going to find the facts to support that narrative, right? So what we hope to do, you know, on this channel and on this podcast, what we hope to do is we hope to give you the alternate perspectives. Really, we can give you our opinions. We're going to give you our opinions, but we always are going to tell you, go research it for yourself.
Do your own due diligence.
And I wish I could tell you to go Google it. I wish I could tell you that.
Yeah, we wish we could tell you to go Google it, but Google's got some issues going on here.
It's not what it used to be, folks. And what do you do when your search engine is determining what information is valid and what information isn't?
Yeah, and it's not a rumor. It is not the stuff of a conspiracy theory. Google is selectively blacking out information that they don't want you to have hands on. especially on a political level. It's no secret that Google is, blatantly partisan. And as a search engine, you got a certain responsibility, to give us information that people want, like just let people determine, what they want to believe, but just provide the facts. They're not doing that anymore. And that's a problem.
It's a huge issue. Like it's so terrible the way that issue is, to have a search engine that you can be looking for something, and because they say, that's not a good source of information.
Yeah,
we're not going to index this. So you'll never be able to find that alternate news. So what I started to realize and start to figure out was that if you don't want certain information to be disseminated into the universe, because essentially the internet is not the new universe, right? If you think about it, the internet is like a story happens, we write a story, it becomes the news, the internet finds it, it indexes it, now it lasts forever, right? Now it's a part of history. But if we don't report on it, right, then it's as if it never happened.
Exactly.
So what we're seeing happening now is that the media is selectively deciding what they want to report on.
Yeah.
And if the major outlets don't cover a certain story, there's really no way for you to find out or get any information that an event even occurred.
It's a blackout. It's information blackout. You're not going to know he's even there.
So that's the new disinformation campaign. It's not to report on it at all. So if we don't report on it, if an alternate blog or someplace reports on it, but it doesn't meet Google's criteria, then it doesn't get reported, or it doesn't get picked up by the search engine. And you can search and search until you're blue in the face, but
you're not going to find what you're looking for.
Yep, that's what it is.
For those people that are listening, everyone that's listening, we're not saying not to use Google at all, but we're saying to also look at alternate search engines to do your search on, because you're not going to get everything you need from Google. That is a fact. You're not going to get everything you need from Google. And some people think, okay, give us some examples of what Google is hiding. This was a big story in the news. The whole Jeffrey Epstein debacle.
Yeah.
The Lolita Island, the underage girls on the pedophile island, so on and so forth. And the media was pushing this narrative that President Trump was a main player, on that island with Jeffrey Epstein. And before it became big news, if you did a search for Epstein on Google, you would see Jeffrey Epstein smiling next to former President Bill Clinton. I remember seeing this in real time.
Right.
And then when the whole Epstein scandal resurfaced again, Google literally scrubbed the Clinton images of Epstein off the damn search engine.
Mm-hmm. You can do that now. If you Google Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Clinton, you'll get pictures of Jeffrey Epstein and President Trump.
And Trump.
But that's not a part of your search engine.
No.
Right?
Not at all.
So what happens is that, optically when you see that, right, now you put someone, you put them in the same category, right, where, this was an acquaintance of the president that may have gone to his hotel, that may have gone to his golf clubs and those type of things. But this isn't a situation where they got the flight records of him going
exactly. People misconstrue that, thinking that, okay, Epstein was a mover and a shaker,
right,
amongst the elite. So he knew a lot of people, but not everybody was taking multiple flights to the island for that pedophile purpose. Some people who he just knew and, of course, partied with. Now, if people don't know this, but Trump knew Epstein as well as other people. A lot of people knew Epstein. A lot of people stood with Epstein at certain events and parties. But Trump wasn't going to that island. Right, exactly.
Right. And I think that has to be the key component.
Yeah.
So, some folks will say, well, if he was at those parties, then, he may have indulged in whatever they were doing at those parties, so forth and so on and so forth and so on. Trust me, if that was the case, that stuff would have already been out
Exactly.
3 years ago.
Exactly.
The way that they want to destroy the current president, you would have seen that information come out tenfold.
Exactly.
There would have been no way it could have been suppressed.
And we don't know what Bill Clinton did or didn't do.
Right.
But what we do know is that the records exist that Bill Clinton had taken multiple flights to that island. I mean, there was a photo on the internet the other day of him having his back rubbed by one of the pedophile.
One of the young ladies.
One of the young ladies
that said that they were assaulted
or abused allegedly.
Allegedly.
You know, so there's a lot of information, a lot of things coming out about Bill Clinton's alleged involvement and how deep it was in that particular scandal. But like we were talking about before, it's a media blackout.
You'll never hear about it.
You're not really hearing about it.
But even if you think about the way he died.
Yeah. Right.
Even in the way that he died, you know, that in itself was, you know, we had one story or a few stories about it, and then it quickly was scurried away.
Exactly. I mean, he was killed in his cell in front of the whole world. And look how fast they brushed under the carpet. That's not normal.
It's not normal.
It's almost impossible.
It's almost impossible with no camera footage.
Exactly. That mysteriously went up in smoke. So you know something is wrong here. You know? But, you know, when it look at the pedophile network and politics and Hollywood is deep. There's so many people and professionals involved in that. I think that's something that
this is our first episode. We got to make it a few more episodes before we get into that.
Let me know
because
before they try to shut us down.
Demonetized.
Oh my God!
You ain't even started. You're already demonetized.
Oh
what happened?
Yeah. You know,
listen.
The Ministry of Truth is alive and well. They will pull our plug.
Listen here.
As we're saying too much now.
Too much. So again, So I guess someone will ask us what's an alternate search engine. You know, we're in no way connected to any of the other search engines, but one that I tend to use is DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't hold information whatever you're searching for.
Private search engine.
You have to really understand. Like if you guys have watched that Netflix series called a Netflix documentary called The Social Dilemma, you have to realize that there is a concerted effort to get your information and to understand what your behaviors are. So the search engine is like the primary way of finding what you're interested in and what your personality is. So and a search engine like DuckDuckGo that doesn't hold all of your information is, you know, key to keeping your privacy intact for as long as you can. But you know, with smartphones and everything else, good luck in keeping that. Now
they say that the privacy targeting is all about targeted ads, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. And you really don't know what's happening on the other side. You know, when it comes to this tech and this industry, you really don't know what's happening on the other side.
What I gather from it, and some folks will call it conspiracy theory or call it whatever. Don't flag me for conspiracy theory. It's not Alex Jones. But what I gather from it, and when you look at the current political standpoint, the political landscape, and the tenor of people on opposite sides, you couldn't tell me that there isn't a concerted effort to control minds through media.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think we are the country's the most divided as it's ever been right now.
Right.
And I think the media has been driving that. It's been driving that, like, wholeheartedly. They've been driving it. People say, no, it's not true. It is true. It is true. You got a lot of hate and division. I mean, hate and division has always existed, don't get me wrong. But now I think it's reached a fever pitch because now you turn on television, you go on the internet, whatever kind of media stream you're using. And, I'm going to have to use Trump as an example. You know, they're trying to get you to hate a sitting president.
And if you think about it, they've always tried to get you to hate the president.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right. Because if you can rewind back to Bush Gore or Bush Kerry, right? You had that big moment with Kanye West. George Bush doesn't care about black people. And, that when the Vote or Die campaign was born, if you remember that, it's almost the same tenor. It's just we didn't have social media.
Exactly.
They were on MTV wearing Vote or Die t-shirts as if the world was going to end.
It was still here. It didn't end. It was still here.
And it didn't end.
It was still here.
And I didn't know, why I needed to vote for John Kerry other than George Bush was the devil.
Yeah.
And
this guy's bad.
This guy is bad.
Don't worry about his policy. He's just a bad guy.
Just
a
bad guy. And at the time, I have to say, I wasn't red pilled yet.
I agree.
Low information voter.
Same.
Right. Getting all of your media from one source. Right. And a lot of that was, the internet hadn't spawned the political landscape that we have now.
Exactly.
You didn't have the rise of the political blog, right? Because that's really what all these places are, political blogs.
And independent media.
Right, and independent media. So we didn't have all of that. So you were just really kind of relegated to just a certain level of things. And, if you look at the way that social media works now, it continues to give you more of what you like,
which is good and bad,
right? So if you're in a situation where it's like, boom, I just like, big butt girls, right? I know this is going to be a lot of a tangent, but that seems to be the thing for IG right now, right? So let's just say that's what you're into. And, you like a few of those photos, you come off your phone, you go back.
That's all you're going to see.
That's all you're going to see. So the same thing is like if all you pick is, left-wing media, that's all you're going to see. If you pick all right-wing media, that's all you're going to see.
And it's designed to keep you to keep you in your lane so you're not exposed to anything new. It's going to keep you in that one little spot. And that's a dangerous thing. When you can't see any other perspective because you're being flooded by one perspective. So more what you like, it's not good.
It's not good. Because if you think about it, if you just keep seeing what you like, right? Like now I can influence you.
Exactly.
Right now I can influence you. Like, okay, you just continue to see this, you continue to see more of that. And then you can make those subtle changes now, or they can do things to you subtly where, all of a sudden you kind of start swaying or kind of don't even want to take the perspective of the other side. And it's a real strange place that we're in.
And case in point, when it comes to perspective, like when's the last time you've seen Fox News in the airport? Have you ever? Oh. Have you ever?
But why does CNN have a monopoly of all airports? That's the question that we have to ask.
You ever really thought about it? Why is only CNN in the airport?
You have to ask those questions. These are the questions that you have to ask yourself. And listen, like there was a time when I really thought that it was a fair and balanced network.
Yeah. Once upon a time.
There was a time when I thought that it was that. And then I started to really dive into media manipulation and clickbait and starting to understand, the whole thing about writing sales copy online and, marketing online and understanding how certain words trigger certain responses. And then you start to realize that this is really a psychological game that folks are playing.
And we're under psychological assault, Yeah. It's both conscious and subconscious. They're not even aware of it, And you're being conditioned to think a certain way and act a certain way, and people aren't really aware of it, but it's happening, Especially with this election we're looking at right now, you're being conditioned to think a certain way, act a certain way, vote a certain way, and it's a dangerous thing,
It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing because it's gotten to the point where you can't even respectfully disagree.
No, you can't agree. If you disagree, you get your throat cut.
Yeah.
And reminds me of something that happened to me the other day. I was coming home from the airport, called my Uber, and it's late at night, and I had on a USA T-shirt. A T-shirt that says USA on it. No particular reason. I just like the shirt.
Just tell them that it was polo.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was polo. It was polo.
Ralph Lauren.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
So that
shout out to Ralph Lauren. You know what I'm saying?
Just so that you know that that he was dressed as an urban fashionista.
Exactly.
Right.
So the Uber driver pulls up, an older gentleman, and he's looking me up and down, and he's like, "Oh, you got a USA T-shirt on? Oh yeah, you're a Trump supporter?" I was like, "Huh?" I said, "What? Are you a Trump supporter?" I said, "Sir, it's just a T-shirt that says USA. I can't love my country like it's. I like the shirt. I didn't think of anything of it. It's just a shirt."
He was getting ready to kick you out the Uber.
He's getting ready to kick me out the Uber. He's ready to
a USA shirt.
A USA. He's getting ready to take my head off. And this is the mind control and divisiveness and the hatred that we're talking about out here. Like what's conditioned this gentleman to go off like that, off a T-shirt.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary that, folks can be influenced to that capacity. Yeah. Like folks don't even really think about it. Like what I'm starting to realize is that, they don't want critical thinking anymore.
No. Like
critical thinking is paramount for you to be able to make, decisions, like to see that 2 and 2 make 4, right? Versus it, adding up to 7, right? In that particular scenario that you're in, it's kind of like, okay, you're a Trump supporter because it says USA. Let's say that's the case, right? Let's say, hey, I love my country. And then, the narrative, it's like, well, why do you love the country? When was this country ever great?
Exactly.
And then I would pause, right? Because we're black guys in America, right? We're sons of immigrants. Let's be clear, right? We're sons of immigrants that came here legally, right?
Shout out to the immigrants.
Shout out to the immigrants doing it the right way, right? Our parents came to the country, worked, bought real estate, started a business.
Yes, sir.
Was able to educate all of their children, right? We were able to take the education that we were provided. We were able to go into the private sector and create all kind of success for ourselves, right? In different areas and different fashions, which we won't get into, right? But where else in the world could we have done that?
Real talk.
Like, where else in the world can you have experienced that as a person of color? I like to say black person in America, but this is the reality of the situation. If you've traveled abroad and you've gone to other countries, if you've been to countries like, say, Jamaica or Dominican Republic, or if you're from Cuba or any of those places you're from, you can't have this kind of narrative.
Exactly.
This kind of narrative where you can start and have nothing. Right, here goes 2 guys starting with nothing. Podcast episode number 1. Right?
Number 1.
Episode number 1. Check us out in a year.
That's right.
Because this is America. This is where you can take something and you can make something come from nothing. So, all we ask for is to have the opportunity. Yeah. Right? Now, granted, if it's not the same opportunity as others, because there's some systemic things out there,
exactly.
I get it. If you're playing on the if you're playing the game of the person who created the game,
yeah,
they're going to have some sort of technical advantages.
They're going to have a little bit of edge, but people got to remember that. Look, the same results are not guaranteed,
right?
But the opportunities are there,
right?
So if you're asking what makes America great, well, that makes America great that you have the opportunity,
right?
And
I think sometimes because they think that the results vary or the results aren't the same, that becomes racist.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I put this guy on the treadmill, I put this guy on the treadmill. This guy loses 5 pounds, this guy loses 3. There's nothing wrong with the treadmill.
Exactly.
Right? There's nothing wrong with the treadmill. Maybe this guy drank more water. Maybe this guy had a little bit more sleep. Or maybe this guy doesn't have insulin resistance. We don't know.
Exactly.
Right? But again, The results will vary.
Results may vary.
Right? But you had the opportunity and you still lost weight.
Exactly.
I know, did you lose as much as he did? Maybe you didn't lose as much as he did. Maybe you got to do a little bit more. Maybe you're going to have to cut out the carbs. Maybe you're going to have to do a little extra. Who knows? Take a fat burner. I don't know.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, you still got the opportunity to do that.
Made in the USA.
That's what I would say, man. I would say it's made in the USA. And again, it's again to pressure your perspective. To pressure your perspective. It's too much. It's just too emotional right now. I think it's too high strung, too emotional. Everyone's offended by what the fuck someone says, right? If I want to use colorful language, fuck you. I should be able to do that, right? As long as I don't put my hands on you.
Freedom of speech. Exactly.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
Right? I can't expect everyone to love me.
Right? It is what it is.
It is what it is. How can I tell somebody if I say, hey, I love being black, how can I stop the person from saying, hey, they love being white?
Exactly. Look, it's okay to love being white.
It's okay. It's okay, but then we label it. We label it as white supremacy, right?
You say I love being white, you fucking racist.
Right? Yeah, you're racist.
Why can't you love being white?
You're right. You're a right wing. What are you? A right wing, whatever. It's crazy shit to me.
Everyone's entitled to love who they are and where they come from.
Yeah, and if you're raising children, right? I got a 3 and a 5-year-old. If you're raising children, am I supposed to tell my kids that they're less than anyone else?
No.
How do you do that?
Exactly. That's crazy.
Right? When I see my kids, I tell my kids they're the fucking best. Right?
Damn superstar.
Unapologetically, right?
You're a damn superstar.
You're the best. So it has nothing to do with fucking supremacy. It just has to do with, hey, we want the best. We want to be the best at whatever the fuck we doing. So it's confusing to me sometimes when it's like, hey, this thing is rooted in this and it's rooted in that. It's like, come on, man. Like, everyone is too hypersensitive. I think everyone needs to just take a chill pill. Everybody needs to really kind of take an idea and just really stick to the facts if you can find them.
It's hard to get to the facts where people's emotions are being played on. So and that's what we're dealing with out here. Emotional arguments, emotional perspectives that push the facts out the way. No one wants to deal in reality anymore.
So I'm going to put the disclaimer out there, right? Because this is episode number 1.
Episode 1, Breeze Bullies.
Breeze Bullies, right? We're shooting the breeze.
Shooting the breeze.
Right? We're using our bully pulpit to just tell you what it is, what we feel, what we think, how it's going.
We're going to bully you to be better.
We're going to bully you to be better. But I say this and I continue to say this. Everything that we say may not be popular. We get a lot of flack for some of our positions. A lot of flack for some of the positions, but I just challenge everyone, just think about it. Just think about it. It's not about, if I'm not asking you to agree.
And do your due diligence.
And just do your research.
Do your research, man. We're trying to tell you.
Just do your research.
Your fucking research.
Yeah, and don't make it decisions based off of how you feel, right? Because from my vantage point in the way that I grew up, man, how you feel will get you killed.
Real talk,
right? If you're going into certain neighborhoods and you're going to act out in certain kind of ways because of the way that you feel, then people are going to respond in kind, right? And you always had to think everything through, right? So you had to lead with a thought process versus then with an emotional process.
Indeed.
So when we're bringing information to you, you may not like it. It might not resonate with you at first, but do your research, right? We're always going to source where we're getting it from. Some of it is conservative media. Some of it is liberal media.
That's right. No holds barred.
No holds barred.
They're giving you the real.
Right. You got a lot of fuck shit out there.
A lot. We might offend you. We're going to offend you for your own good. So
we're about 29 minutes in, right? Yeah. Let's start getting into this current events, man, and what the hell's going on right now Main thing going on right now today is October the 13th.
Yes, sir.
2020. Right now, they're confirming the new Supreme Court Justice,
Amy Coney Barrett.
Got the middle name in the middle, the surname right together. From what I understand and the things that I've already read with this particular Supreme Court pick, is that she has a stellar record.
Awesome record.
Right? They're saying that she was first of her class at Notre Dame Law School.
Yes, sir.
Someone made a joke that some of the people in Congress never didn't graduate first in their class in law school. So you got a Supreme Court justice who is going to get confirmed. They can't stop it.
It's inevitable. You can't
right.
stop it.
So they're not going to be able to stop it. But what you see happening is that, it doesn't stop the other side from really attacking this person's character, which to me is just, it's just tasteless in some cases. Here goes an accomplished woman, married, 5 kids, 2 adopted children, right? For a total of 7.
I think 2 of her kids are kids of children of color too, right? I think so.
Right.
Yeah.
2 of the kids are adopted from Haiti. Right.
Catholic woman.
I think they worked under Scalise.
I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. At the end of the day, there's really nothing you can do with this Supreme Court pick.
Exactly.
Right. And I have to tell all my my Democrat folks when it comes to Ruth Bader Ginsburg, you have to remember that there was a time when Obama controlled the presidency and both chambers of Congress.
That's right.
From what I've read, that there was an opportunity there where she was requested to
step aside
so that he could use his political power at the time to get another appointment in there that would have been of a liberal mindset, I guess.
Uh-huh.
She declined. She was still battling cancer.
That was the feminist in her,
right,
saying she's not stepping aside.
She's not stepping aside. No. So you guys had the opportunity to, now you guys are calling it court packing.
Oh yeah,
right. So you guys had the opportunity to.
It's a legitimate confirmation.
To have a legitimate confirmation with absolutely nothing the other side could have done about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you were playing true politics like you do now, mm-hmm. She would have stepped aside, allowed him to, do his Merrick Garland thing, whatever he was going to do at the time. Mm-hmm. And they would have been able to get the Supreme Court justice through, and then we wouldn't have what we have. But the issue that I see happening in America is that there needs to be term limits on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't see why this woman should have died in the Supreme Court justice. I don't see why that happened. Like same way I don't see how what happened with John McCain. I don't see how you guys don't relinquish power until you're dead.
It's what's funny about that. It kind of, I get it. I get it and I don't get it. I think term limits are great, but I think when it comes to Supreme Court justice, whose appointment is for life, I think that life appointment kind of, it kind of gives them a certain protection against influence, meaning that, they're there for life. They don't have to worry about getting reelected or reappointed. They're in there. And that kind of shields them a little bit, from outside special interest influence.
Which I think is fine. But you could still have a term limit, which is let's say, for example, mm-hmm. right?
Maybe an extended term limit.
But
life is
18 years, 25 years, right? especially once folks start to get past retirement age of 65 and 68. Like, you know,
folks dying on the bench. Yeah, that's a little. It's a little bit whoa. It's a little bit
and come on, man. And let's keep it 100. Our father, 83 years old.
Indeed.
Would you be wanting to make public policy at this age?
No.
And he's in his right mind.
I don't want to make his. I don't even want to make his making his breakfast. I mean, come on.
Like you know what I'm saying? So these folks can sometimes get locked into something and can be so removed from what's currently happening, right? That it to me it creates a problem, man. I don't think the folks should be able to be in the Senate all their lives. Granted, they're being reelected, but if the president can't go for more than 2 terms, then you know you guys should be locked into the two, maybe max 4 terms. Like you gotta be able to get, you know, some young fresh blood going in here, so that, you know, the longer that they stay in office, in my mind, you know, not necessarily from the Supreme Court side, but from the Senate and the congressman side, you can clearly see the corruption.
You see what's going on. And I think when you hear the term like swamp and the swamp in Congress, I think it has a variety of connotations, because it's kind of like, when you think about it, you know, no term limits, and these are folks that you can't change the guard, you can't change the perspective, nothing can change because you can't get them out, you know. So everything is kind of stuck, and so that's really the swamp. Is you can't. It's hard to drain it because you got these roots that are so deep that you can't remove. You can't get anything fresh in there. So that's a problem. That's a problem.
It's a huge problem, and I think from what I'm seeing right now is you know, you got the Feinsteins of the world, right? You got the Nancy Pelosi's of the world,
Indeed.
The Maxine Waters of the world, right? You know, I may even go on a limb and say the Lindsey Grahams of the world, because he's been in there for a while. And
like you're saying, late John McCain.
Yeah, late John McCain. You know,
people been in there for a lifetime.
They've been in there too long. They've been in there too long. Some of them have been in public office longer than I've been alive. Right? And the question is, what do you know as an 80-year-old person of the needs of the people who are half your age?
Exactly. You know, you start really analyzing and saying to yourself, you know something, you know, look at how old these people are. And we're not being ageist, but it's just kind of like, you know, you got these super seniors in office.
Super seniors.
Antiquated thought models of governance.
Of governance and everything else.
And, you know, the world is changing, but they're not.
Right.
So we're hitting a brick wall.
And then you wonder why things can't get done.
Yeah. Basically.
Right? You wonder why things are always being like railroaded, why you just, you know, you elect a person after person and nothing changes.
Nothing changes.
Like, why doesn't it change? It's because these folks in Congress don't change.
Basically.
So them folks ain't writing no new laws.
And these folks have gone in there and made themselves multimillionaires in some cases and still refuse to relinquish power. Refuse to step aside, refuse to resign.
What is that about?
I don't know.
What is that about?
Well, actually, we do know what it's about. We do know what that shit is about.
Raw unfettered power.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So with this Amy Coney Barrett thing, hey, you know, to the folks on the left, you guys are dead on the water. The only way that she's not going to get confirmed is if this woman come down with COVID, right? Which will possibly happen. Right.
Like, we're not wishing COVID on anybody. We're just saying.
But that's an October surprise if you've ever seen one.
That'll be a nasty surprise.
Listen, man.
Nasty surprise.
Listen, they will infect the entire chamber.
Oh, God.
Like, you see how so many people in the White House, we went 7 months, none of them were infected. And then right in October before the election, you got 30 people plus all of a sudden infected with COVID all at the same time. It's like, oh, okay, that's real. That was real strategic.
And I guess Pelosi must be cool, man. Pelosi's like immune to that shit.
Man,
like,
listen to this bullshit, man. You know? like when I see bullshit. I see that bullshit. I see it. And
these are old people too. These are seniors. What are they taking?
I'm like, come on, man. This shit is bullshit, man. You know? Adrenochrome.
Oh shit! Let's not go there. Let's not go there. No,
like bullshit, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I see it going on. I'm like, okay, this is funny. But at the end of the day, she's gonna get confirmed.
It's gonna get confirmed.
Yeah,
but it's a big. The big stink is. Oh, how dare you confirm her in an election year? Oh,
how dare you confirm her because you guys made it possible for us to confirm. I forget what y'all did with Larry Reid.
Oh, Harry Reid. Oh, yeah,
he
he blew up the rules.
And he blew up the rules. So once you blow up the rules, this is what happens.
Harry, you fucked up, Harry. Fucked up, Harry. And they warned you about this shit.
Yeah. Like, you guys changed the rules to fit when you guys can't win. This is what you guys do. All the time. This is the conversation now with the whole court packing shit.
Exactly.
Is you guys want to change the rules because you can't win.
And now the media has been real slick about the court packing definition. Because now you see how they're trying to change it now
to make what we see happening.
Exactly. So now the new narrative is now they're defining court packing as what the Republicans are trying to do, which is legitimately appoint Amy Coney Barrett because they have the right to. But the court packing that the Democrats were talking about was increasing the number of justices on the Supreme Court. That's court packing.
But if you think about it, if you think about it, these guys are really masterful in their flip.
Oh yes,
they're masterful in blaming you what the fuck they want to blame you for.
Yeah,
they're so good at flipping you. They can turn water into fucking sand. Like these guys are so good at doing
Harry Potter motherfuckers.
Yeah, these guys are so good at this shit, right? Because okay. If the whole point of them court packing was for them to get more liberal justices, right? Then, by definition, when you think about it, this is sort of a right wing court packing because she's a conservative judge, right? So, I mean, what the fuck would you do? Would you pick someone that wasn't fucking conservative if you had a conservative body of Congress? Like, why would I pick a liberal judge if we're conservatives?
Exactly.
And people voted for conservatives. So why would we vote for a liberal judge? It just doesn't make sense, But you guys are mad that you're stuck at 9. Now, granted, Clarence Thomas might retire next year. Who knows?
He might.
You know what I'm saying?
He might retire next year.
In the same way that Scalise died, mysteriously. You just never know what can happen out there in these worlds.
And where is this fear coming from? Because technically speaking, before the passing of Ginsburg, the court was already arguably conservative.
Right.
So with another conservative, what's really changing here?
Nothing. And you guys scared the shit out of Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh probably is going to be swinging both sides anyway.
He's going to be the new Justice Roberts.
You guys, they scared the shit out of Kavanaugh.
Oh my God.
They put him through the ringer, and I just don't think that man wants to go through the shit with his family. So he's gonna do his best to prove that he's bipartisan. But you see, the difference is they don't play by those rules.
Exactly.
They don't play bipartisan shit. They play what they want to play with. So if he wants to play that game, he's gonna have to do it. But I saw what he went through. I saw the hurt that he was going through in front of his daughters.
That was really bad.
That was bad. So they did that to him. They knew he was going to get confirmed, but they did that to him so he can understand that we can ruin you.
Yeah, they tried to Me Too Kavanaugh with the whole Me Too movement. They tried taking him down. It didn't work.
Me Too and with no evidence.
Exactly. And now the Me Too movement is pretty much almost dead now because when the accusers came for Biden, guess what? They all got muzzled. So. You can't have a Me Too movement and play partisan politics with it. So I guess they kind of single-handedly kind of buried their own movement now. So it's one of those things. And this is what we're dealing with here. The media is horribly biased, horribly partisan. And I want to remind people of when the WikiLeaks revelations came out in 2016. And I don't know if people took the time to read those WikiLeaks documents. Because I reread them.
Folks think WikiLeaks is fake, bro.
WikiLeaks was not fake.
Like, folks think WikiLeaks is conspiracy theory.
No, it's not conspiracy. It wasn't fake.
And this is the thing that, look, all you needed to do is read the shit.
Read it.
If you read the shit,
it's still online, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. If you read the shit that was going on in WikiLeaks and then you started to apply it to what was really happening,
exactly,
you would realize that this is probably one of the most accurate things coming out in media today.
Exactly. So when we're telling you that the media is partisan and run by the liberal left, read the WikiLeaks, because you'll see in the WikiLeaks emails themselves, the media is literally colluding with one party and asking for permission for what stories they should print or would like to print or run with. That's in the WikiLeaks documents. It's online. Go read it. Go read it. Go read the damn documents. It's still up there.
It's crazy.
It's not conspiracy. It's all there. It's in your face. But it goes down the memory hole so fast. People don't remember.
It's crazy, bro. Like, I see that stuff. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's absolutely insane. But you got to think about it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I'm looking at it in a situation where it's like when you're talking about WikiLeaks, you talk about the connection to the left wing media. This all controlled by the same thing, man. And that was woefully apparent in that.
The whole thing. The shit is a whole mess.
But what we see getting ready to happen with Coney Barrett, she's in there, and the big stink right now was Obamacare. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. That thing is gone.
It's gone. It's gone.
It's gone. But what you have to also realize too, that there was a lot of bullshit around there, because these guys were talking about they wanted to get rid of Obamacare and they never had a replacement.
Yeah.
So they never had one. They never had a replacement for it. But I think if your boy wins re-election, then they're gonna find something to replace it with.
And they keep talking about, from the left, that Obamacare is what the people want. It's what the people want. The American people. People don't remember that Obamacare was forced through without a single Republican vote.
Right.
So the American people, represented by both parties and every party in between, that was forced through by one party.
Right. So that's not what the American people wanted.
Exactly. That's not what the American people wanted. And if you, we all have personal experience with Obamacare. You know what happened to your premiums. Yeah, you know what happened to your plans.
Through the roof.
You went through the roof. We can't fake it. We can't fake it. It was bad law. It probably had good intentions.
Right.
But it was slammed through. Didn't work out. And so now, there's this fear mongering that Amy Coney Barrett is going to dismantle Obamacare, and you're going to lose a pre-existing condition protection, which isn't really true.
That's not happening.
Yeah,
it's not. Now it's, that's probably something that could have happened under a previous Republican.
Exactly.
But that's not going to be able to happen with Trump now. He's already signed the executive order.
Mm-hmm. So that's still we're going to see we're going to see what happens with that. So for now, stay tuned.
Man,
folks,
so much to
talk about.
So much to talk about.
So much we got to get into.
So much to get into. But we're gonna get into it on the next one. But really, this is Breeze Bullies. This is the homie Jug, aka Juggernaut.
Half of the dawn. We're here.
It's Breeze Bullies. We're here to pressure your perspective, and tune in for us next time, man.
Tune into us. Check us out. Click, subscribe, share, like. Check out our company news site, breezebullies.com.
Right, that's breezebullies.com.
For all the latest news and politics.
Right, so everything that we're talking about, the things that we're talking about, you're going to see the direct links and the direct sources there. And remember what happens with this Breeze Bully site, what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to really, like we said, pressure your perspective.
Indeed.
And give you the information coming from us from, a black perspective, So that's where we at. So
we'll keep going with that. And let's see. I guess what else? What else can people expect in the future?
Just the podcast starting off, and then we're gonna start moving into that video.
Yes, sir.
And then when we start moving into that video, oh boy, they're gonna see how good we look, bro.
Oh yeah,
it's over with after that, right there.
Something like a phenomenon, baby.
Till next time.
Till next time, y'all take it easy. Take us out of here.